Here we go.
Here we go, brownies. Here we go. Hey, welcome to the Fanatical Elves Network. We are live. We are doing our pregame Browns versus Washington Commanders. Game starts at 7:30. We are outside here at the Johnny Cleveland Podcast House, and we're going to grill some hamburgers, hot dogs, Polish kebabs. We got the Village Elliott down there in Beaver Creek, Ohio, at a fancy dancy sports bar. We got Steve Gill down there in Nashville, Tennessee. So I'm going to let them introduce themselves and go Browns. We're going to grill some burgers. Are you tailgating right now? Tune in right now to the Fanatical Elves. All right.
Awesome.
How's it going, Steve?
Elliot, good.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah, we are live at Milano's in Beaver Creek on North Fairfield. And if you're in the Beaver Creek area, come on down. They have an awesome display of food down here. And there are TVs everywhere. Let me just sort of pan around the area. And you can see there's people from all over Beaver Creek. And there are 3 separate rooms. And you can watch baseball, you can watch sports, you can watch probably CNN, whatever you want. And I've just been handed a tray of Bavarian pretzels, which I think is very appropriate.
Very appropriate.
Okay.
Wow, look at that.
Because why? I'm from Cleveland, and we are all honorary Central Europeans in Cleveland, Ohio. And so Bavarian pretzels sounds like a really awesome idea, and I'm going to order some more stuff.
That is an awesome idea.
And I will share it with all the fans in Cleveland and throughout Ohio, and in fact the world. By the miracle of technology, we can send this video all over the world. And Cleveland Browns fans are all over the world. Okay, back to you, Steve.
All right, I'm live in Nashville, Tennessee. I'm not at a sports bar. I'm not on my back deck. I spent the day figuring out how I can get the game for free on TV, which I always do preseason. All you got to do is find the right European streaming service, and you're good to go. I've done this many a decade. This is what I do for preseason game. I set up my smart TV so I can actually see the game.
That's excellent.
What are our drinks of choice tonight, Steve? What do you got tonight?
Oh, I'm just drinking a little sparkling ice water. It's I might have a beer or two during the game, but
excellent.
I'm just
got my little
relaxed.
handy Johnny Cleveland podcast cup here. If you would like to order any Johnny Cleveland mugs or whatnot, you can go to Zazzle.com and type in Johnny Cleveland podcast. Okay, back to you, Stephen Elliott.
Okay, well, while we were setting up and getting ready to go, the Browns posted who wasn't going to play tonight. No shock. I've heard that Myles Garrett is going to dress but not play. On this list, of course, Grant Delpit isn't going to play. Of course, Anthony Walker and Sione Takitaki, Drew Forbes. Most of these guys are hurt, have some kind of injury. I'm kind of surprised Hakeem Grant, the punt returner, isn't going to play because he was practicing returning punts this week. I kind of thought he might play tonight, but apparently not.
What about Nick Chubb? Is he on that list?
Oh, Nick Chubb's not going to play.
Okay.
Yeah, please.
He doesn't need to be on this list.
We do not need to see Nick Chubb.
I don't need to see Nick Chubb. So is he on that list?
No, he's not on that list. There are some players who are going to dress but not play, like Myles Garrett, which is kind of concerning. I hope he'd get a couple snaps in. But it looks like
we don't need to see Myles Garrett.
Looks like JOK is going to play, so that's good. Thornhill, McLeod, Denzel Ward, maybe. I don't know. I think he might be dressed and not playing. But, yeah. Hey, Deshaun Watson's going to start. I think Amari Cooper is going to dress but not play. But we're going to see a lot of John Kelly and Demetric Felton and Hassan Hall. No starting offensive linemen were listed, so apparently the offensive line is going to start for as what many plays as Watson's going to play.
Yes, absolutely.
And all four quarterbacks are going to play tonight.
You see that smoke? Can you smell it? Can you smell the aromas?
It looks
looking
awesome.
Good.
Yeah, you're looking great. Fantastic.
German brats up here.
Oh man.
Hot dogs. We got the sauerkraut inside. We got hamburgers all galore up here.
Oh, that is
awesome.
Just too awesome.
That's too awesome. So, Elliot, what are you going to be looking for tonight?
Well, I think always we want to have no injuries. We don't really need to see the superstars on the Browns play a lot. If they need to, work out some kinks and get in some exercise with the first team, fine. But I really don't need to see anybody from the first team play necessarily. But what we really want to see are people that we think are going to be good, but we aren't really sure about. I think I'd like to see Isaiah Moore play just because he's been so hyped, and I'm really not sold on him. Normally, we'd like to see, the running backs play, and especially we'd like to see Ford play, but he's hurt. That's the only reason why we're not going to see him play. But basically, everybody that we've played at running back has been pretty good. Everybody that we've played at backup offensive lineman has done well. So I guess that's a good problem to have. But remember, we played against the New York Jets, and the Jets are one of those teams that do have very good players at the front lines, but maybe we're a little bit suspicious about the depth that they have. Washington is the same way. They have excellent players on their first 22 players. I'm not real sold, or I don't know as much about who they have behind those first 22. So I think that the Browns may play much better in the second half than in the first half, because I really do think that the Browns have very good offensive linemen sitting on the bench, and they may assert themselves in the second half.
All right. I'm looking to see if Chase Young starts tonight for Washington. That would put him up against Jedrick Wills. I think that's an early key battle. Washington's defensive line is great, and then they added to their defense for their first two draft picks. So this is going to be a good test for the Browns. And I'm curious to see who Washington, we all know they're going to start Sam Howell. I'm curious to see if they trot out their starting wide receiver core. Curtis Samuels, Jahan Dotson, and McLaren. I'm curious to see how the secondary is going to do against those guys.
I think you might see them a little bit, but really they will, in any case, I think, play the deep strike offense. That's what they're designed for, and they will throw deep. They have to. That's just who they are.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. So we'll probably get to see Tank Howell for the first quarter. Then Jacoby Brissett will come in. I hope the fans at the stadium give him a very warm welcome. He deserved it after last year.
Yeah, and I think Brissett will definitely outplay Howell.
I think he will too.
I don't understand how you could possibly think that a fifth-round draft choice with one NFL game is going to be the franchise quarterback from the get-go. I think that they will have very little patience with him. All the signs point to self-generated pressure on the coaching staff. That's not a good situation for a young quarterback, only 22 years old.
Who do the Commanders have at running back? Who are their running backs?
They have their names escape me at the moment. They have two guys that gained less than 4 yards per carry.
Okay.
And they did add some potential. Well, everybody is drafting guys in the 5th and 6th round that are a threat to be stars in the NFL.
Sure.
I think it's a collective
So
mistake.
is this a big game? Elliot, is this a big game for our Demetric Felton to show that he can do what he did in that first game? Is it what do Steve and you both think about Demetric?
Well, I mean, is it a big game? It's an exhibition game, man. But the thing about Demetric Felton, I've always thought that he might really have a future as a slot receiver. I really, I'm from the school of thought that says that running backs can play slot receiver. I thought that he did a good job as a rookie, coming out of the backfield and catching passes. I'm not sold on him as a running back at all. I think that he's slow. I think that he's undersized. It's not a good combination to be a running back. Maybe he can use his offensive lineman and be smart about it and gain yards anyway. But I really think that he can catch the ball. I really like him as a receiver. So
against the Jets, John Kelly started ahead of him. So that kind of tells you where he is on the depth chart. I want to see a little more of Hassan Hall. I thought he played well.
Yeah. I don't believe
really. What's that?
It's we've seen John Kelly. We've seen John Kelly run the ball in the past.
Yeah.
And we've seen Demetric Felton run the ball in the past, and neither one has done well at the NFL level when the bell rings. And I really don't think that they're going to replace Kareem Hunt. Thank you very much. I think we're kind of getting delusional about the preseason, frankly. I'd like to see Hassan Hall. I think that he has the speed that might make us think that he could play in the NFL.
Now, he's not a big kid either, but yeah.
But he is a 4.4 guy at least.
Yeah, he's got speed.
He's done it in college. Maybe he could be a change of pace running back. But
so do the Browns pick up somebody in free agency then still? After this,
they pick somebody up off the waiver wire, yes.
Need a veteran.
Yeah.
Got to have a veteran.
To tell the truth, we've taken a lot, I've taken a lot of flack for criticizing the Browns' lack of depth at the running back. They do have 12 yards of experience at the NFL level. And Jerome Ford has those 12 yards, and I really guess I should be satisfied with that, despite the fact that Kareem Hunt made the Pro Bowl. That Pro Bowl versus 12 yards. Pro Bowl versus 12 yards. Which would I rather have? Man, that's a tough decision for me. But I really, on a balance, think that the Pro Bowl guy was probably a little bit more of a sure thing than the guy that has 12 yards. It's a tough decision, but I think that Kareem Hunt, the past several years, is probably a little bit more impressive. Jerome Ford does have potential, though. Let's grant him that much.
Yes, if he can stay healthy. I'm kind of looking forward to seeing Josh Dobbs, the number 2. We already saw Kellen Mond, and we already saw Dorian Thompson-Robinson. This will be Josh Dobbs, is just like Deshaun Watson. This will be his first opportunity in a game situation, and he made the most of it last year. Let's see what he can do today with the second teamers. Also, I want to continue to see Austin Watkins, see what he can do. I'm really thrilled by that pickup late.
Yeah, the Austin Watkins, yes.
Yeah, man, I love that guy.
I don't see why not.
What if he ends up being the wide receiver? That would be pretty cool. Comes from the what is it? The
USFL and makes an NFL roster.
Why not?
Why not? What the heck?
Why not?
But I'm curious to. I notice Harrison Bryant is on that list. I can't imagine that they're going to start Njoku. So that would mean Atkins probably is going to play, which is good because during the Jets, the fourth and fifth stringers weren't that impressive at tight end. So
no, I thought we did have the guy that we had last year, help me out with these.
Forrestal.
Not well, Forrestal, yes, but we also had. Let me look up the name. Excuse me. Zaire
Right.
Mitchell Payton.
Oh, that's right.
We had Thomas Greeny. They also played and did very well.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that they could be training camp surprises. I think that they could make the practice squad. They could play in the NFL. They really didn't do anything to disgrace themselves. They were very good.
What are your early? I mean, how do you see this game playing out? Obviously, we're going to see Deshaun Watson starting, and some of the starters. I think Steve, you mentioned last night. I mean, if he goes down 75 yards, takes him a 6-minute drive to begin the game, that'll probably be it for some of the starters. What are your expectations?
The coach said number of plays. He didn't say series. He said number of plays, but we don't know how many plays.
Right.
So, if he does a 11-play drive for a touchdown, that's it. Goodbye. Take a seat. Josh Dobbs coming on in.
Right. How's that pretzel growing? Hey, Elliot, how's the pretzel?
This is absolutely awesome. Milano's does a really good job. So anybody that's
Milano's is that a Browns backers club as well, Elliot, or not?
I don't know that it's I'm not sure if they have a Browns backers chapter here. I'll have to ask, but they're definitely Browns friendly.
We need to decide where we're going to meet up when we all meet up there in Dayton. Are we going to go to Tootsie, or is it Tootsie's or?
Oh, it's Tooties. Thank you very much.
Tooties. Yeah,
Tootsies. That's a tribe in Africa. They live in Rwanda.
Or think of something else that made you giggle when you were like 5 years old.
Yeah. But okay. So
what are you eating with the? Tell us what you're eating. What's the little sauce?
This is a cheese sauce. It's very good, and it's going with the Bavarian pretzel. And as I say, a lot of us growing up in Cleveland had at least, a lot of us are Mongols with multiple heritages, but a lot of us have Central European heritage.
Yeah.
And it's really good. We'll eat anything with sauerkraut on it too. I'll probably order some.
Oh, damn right we will.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm take these inside the house while you guys keep talking about this game, but
okay.
See us here.
Yeah. Okay.
There you go.
There we go.
Don't let your dinner get cold there, John.
No, I know. We got the
Oh, that looks great.
The hamburgers, all sorts of things. I will be right back.
Good job,
all
John.
Right.
You have done well.
Yes, he has. Very good grill technique. Didn't panic. Saw a little flame coming up around the burgers. He handled it well. I didn't see him grab for a mister or anything. All right.
Yeah, I'll see if maybe I can get Callie to come over.
All right, cool.
She's smiling at me, then she's turning away.
Just a reminder to everybody watching, we're live right now on the Fanatical Elves Network, part of the Fans First Sports Network. Later tonight, probably fourth quarter, John, possibly Joel, maybe myself will be coming back for post-game analysis. You can find us. Just Google Cleveland Browns podcast, and we'll be number one on the list.
Okay, that's outstanding. Yeah.
There he is.
I'm back.
Oh, wow, that was fast.
Yeah.
Well, Laura got home, so she's helping out with the rest of the meal prep. So we've got side dishes of a variety of veggies. We've got, what else we got? We got some salami and cheese in there. We got a little bit of everything.
I'll be right over.
Okay, yeah, that was great. Hey, I did want to talk about one thing. I wanted to mention, Elijah Moore, I think.
I'll be right back.
Probably will play. I'd like to see him play. Probably he's the type
I
of
hope
guy
he does.
That should play because he needs to establish himself. But I did mention in an article in Dog Pound Daily that I thought he's been one of the most overhyped receivers on the Cleveland Browns since Andre Rison. What do you think about that? Did I overstate the case for him, or if I hit it?
Wow. Close. Very close.
I don't want to say he's as bad as Andre Rison, but
yeah, the media, local
level
media
of hype.
has, the New York Jets media, what they call him, they called him a crybaby. He quit on the Jets, and now he's the new star in Cleveland. I think that was the headline of the article. But yeah, I can see that. Andre Rison came in with a bunch of expectations, just like OBJ did.
But OBJ was legitimately a all-pro wide receiver.
Yeah, he was.
Now, Callie, can you give us just a little bit of camera time? Yeah, this is live.
This is Callie.
Yeah, could you tell us a little bit about what should Browns fans order when they come to Milano's?
Well, the number one thing that a Browns fan should start off with is they should start off with our Bavarian pretzels.
Okay, which we have right here.
They look great.
I agree with that. We talked about that at length, actually.
Elliot, I'm going to be there one of these weeks coming up.
Right. To sit down and watch it go.
Okay, and it's a great place to watch games. You know, we've sort of panned the camera and showed all the different TVs that are available. So you can watch, not just Browns, but any game you want. You can watch here at Milano's if you're in Beaver Creek. And there's baseball, there's basketball, there's tiddlywinks, whatever you want, you can find at Milano's in Beaver Creek. It's on North Fairfield Road. And Kemp is the crossroad, right?
This right here.
Yeah, Kemp and North Fairfield. So it's right in probably the largest intersection in Beaver Creek. And so it's a really nice family-friendly place. And I think Browns fans would be very comfortable bringing their family here.
Oh, awesome.
And, what else can we – I don't mean to take you from your normal duties, but what else can we say that would characterize
What's
the number one seller there?
Our great customer service.
The number one seller would be what?
Oh, the number one seller is probably our deluxe pizza.
Deluxe pizza.
There you go.
Okay.
Awesome.
Yeah, calzone's also very popular.
Ooh, I love a good calzone.
Okay, we'll probably order one of those in just a few minutes.
All right,
okay.
let me know.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Callie.
Oh, that's great, Callie. Awesome. Thank you. Yeah, that's tremendous.
Well, now I'm getting hungry, and I got to go eat my dinner. I mean, yeah,
I know.
I'm starving.
Yeah, we'll get some momentum built up for you. And I'll tell you what, Washington won't stand a chance against us now.
I'm still on fire back here. I think there's smoke behind my head here, but
that's okay.
Game's at 7:30 tonight, and
that's right.
We'll be coming back on for a post-game show, kind of into the probably start of the fourth quarter or a little bit into the fourth quarter. We'll come live again and discuss what we've seen so far. Some of these guys might be back. I think we've got Joel coming on.
I'll probably be back. I've got my smart TV in the office set. So
excellent.
I got my illegal feed already. Hey, that's what you got to do when you're an out-of-town Browns fan.
Well, we're excited to see the Browns, and I know it's a preseason game. It's exhibition. It doesn't count, and we all can go back to 2017, as we've said before, where they ran through and won all those games. Doesn't matter much. But this team is going to be, I think, a little bit different than those previous teams. We've got a lot of excellent top talent, and there's a lot of depth there. We've got a steady Eddie, Kevin Stefanski coaching the team, and a new defensive coordinator in Jim Schwartz. So I think it's going to be fun to see how this team progresses. What did you guys think of that? The guy, did you guys see that take? I know that got a lot of press earlier in the week. The guy on NFL Network who, the way that he randomly talked about us beating Pittsburgh twice and finishing 4-2 or something in the division, but yet going.
He said we'd finish 4-2 in the division and be 6-11. I'm sorry, your logic makes no sense whatsoever. And sweep the Steelers.
Well, yeah.
He had us losing to the Titans in week 3. He lost me right there.
Now, I will go back not too far. Do you remember that Titans game at the beginning
of
the
season?
Yes, I
do. They weren't ready. Freddie didn't have them ready.
That was 2019, right?
Yeah. And then the following year, Steady Eddie had them ready, and we ran it up. It was like 30-something to 7
oh my
before
gosh,
you blinked
that's right.
an eye.
That was like in week 3 or 4. That's right. That was with Hollywood.
No, it was later in the season. It was like 7 or 8, week 7 or 8. Yeah. All I heard about here in Nashville is, well, if the Titans stop Nick Chubb, they're gonna beat the Browns, and they hardly ran Chubb.
That's a good idea. How about that? Why don't all NFL teams stop Nick Chubb? They'd probably beat the Browns all the time. What a good idea. Let's publish that. We're geniuses.
I know. We are.
DeAndre Hopkins.
Just stop Nick Chubb. That's all you got to do.
Now, Tennessee, Steve, you're down there in Tennessee, and we've talked a little bit about them since you're down there, but they did pick up DeAndre Hopkins, and they have an aging 29.
Who's going to throw the ball to him?
Well, right. That was my question to you. Who's going to, I actually picked DeAndre Hopkins up in my draft. I had him available to me in like the 6th or 7th round, so it was a good value, and I thought, well, he's probably going to get targeted a little bit at least.
Well, let's see what happens. If he's like Julio Jones, who they traded a 2nd-round pick and restructured Tannehill's contract, and then he come to find out he wasn't happy with as many catches as he thought he'd get, and he was always on the injury report. As a matter of fact, I remember a game where he got injured during the game, and by the time the game was over, he was already in street clothes, and you might as well have just packed his bag and left Nashville right there. I mean, Tannehill, he's an aging veteran. He's experienced, but he's a turnover waiting to happen. And their offensive line is in shambles.
Elliot and Steve, Washington Commanders. They're talking about changing their name again. I'd like to know what you think about a good name. An alternative.
I like Commies. It's nice and warm and friendly. And I don't see anything wrong with it. Washington Commies has a nice ring to it. So it's shorter than Commanders. So it fits.
I think they should go back to Washington Football Team. I didn't see anything wrong with that.
Well, but it's tainted by Dan Snyder. We can't have anything.
No, that's true. Anything Dan Snyder thought of is...
What else is there in Washington that would... I mean, obviously, we've got the presidents. I was thinking the presidents,
well,
but that wouldn't make sense.
You know who the Washington Redskins are descended from? Do you know who they are really?
Whom?
It was explained.
They are the Pottsville Maroons. Okay, they are the Pottsville Maroons. They were coal miners that were the best team in 1925, and they got cheated out of the championship because they played a exhibition game against the Notre Dame All-Stars, and they didn't obtain proper permissions, and so somebody in Philadelphia squawked about it, and they said, we're not allowed to do that, so we're going to punish you by making you ineligible to win the championship. They were the best team. Everybody knew that. And they're still mad about it. And actually, the Roonies said, well, we've inherited the legal rights for all those years back from the Frankfurt Yellow Jackets, and we dropped the protest. So you should award the 1925 championship to Pottsville. It didn't work, for whatever reason.
Pottsville.
Yeah, Pottsville Maroons. Then the Maroons moved to Boston.
Okay.
And Boston became the word that I can't use or we'll get our show canceled. It started with, I think they might have even been the Braves one year, but then they became the word that starts with R. And then they moved to Washington, but that's why their uniforms are maroon in color.
Okay.
Well, there you have it.
So they could be the Washington Maroons, and everybody would call them morons.
Oh, I can see a lot of Bug Bunny memes. What a maroon.
But
well,
yeah,
anyway.
I think it would be, the Bugs Bunny maroon. What a bunch of maroons.
What a bunch of maroons.
Well, everybody, thank you, Steve. Thank you for being here and leading the charge tonight. And Elliot, thank you for coming to us live down there again tell us the place again.
We're at Milano's in Beaver Creek at
Milano's.
the intersection of North Fairfield and Kemp Road.
Excellent. And awesome. I'm at my home, at my grill out in beautiful Gahanna, Columbus, the suburbs of Columbus, Ohio. We're having a great night here. I did look like just a weather report back in Cleveland. There's a series of showers and storms coming along the Lake Erie. So we'll see what happens with that. I did take note of that before we started the podcast. So we'll see if that has any effect on the game tonight. But anyway, thank you for following us here on the Fanatical Elves Network. We appreciate all of you loyal the fans, and please share this podcast out with friends, family, everybody that's a Browns fan. Tune in to Apple, Spotify. You can find us. Google Cleveland Browns podcast. You can type in Fanatical Elves. You can type in Cleveland Browns podcast and find us on Apple and Spotify. It's right there on the first page. So check us out. We sell apparel. Steve does his Dog Pound South show there and brings a great perspective. Elliot helps out with a great number of shows, including football philosophy and rocket science. So thank you for joining us. Thank you for being part of this live show. We want the Brownies to win tonight. Here we go, Brownies. Here we go. And we will be back in a few hours after the Browns win the game or are winning the game in the fourth quarter tonight. So we look forward to talking to you more later. Everybody have a great game. Enjoy the show. See you, Elliot. See you, Steve.
Okay, I'm going to order a pizza for sure.
Go Browns. I'm going to go eat my dinner. I'm starving.
See you, everybody.